There was a time in my life, oh, I didn't believe there was so much I dreamed of and wanted to be. I took a look in the mirror, I didn't like what I see. I just waited, wished for, hoped for someday would be.
Hello everyone and welcome. I am so excited to have you here with us today. My name is Orgena Rose of the Orgena Rose Show, and as you can see, we're doing things a little differently. Yes, today and throughout the rest of the month, we will be looking forward to hearing from you. So before we actually air our guest interview, we want to hear from you. Your questions, your thoughts, your concerns, or your suggestions and ideas around that month's theme. And then, when we actually air that guest interview, your questions get to be answered. So, before we get to this month's theme, I'd like to ask you, did you see last night's Oscars? Oh, if you didn't, it was really, I think one of the most phenomenal Oscar ceremonies ever. I found that each of the, participants, the actors, their speeches went much deeper than usual. Yes, Ellen was a fantastic host, certainly going outside of the box, literally with pizza. And yes, all of the beautiful gowns and clothing on the red carpet, very glamorous, very beautiful. But I found that the speeches truly went to a deeper and more heart space than previously, and more consistent. There were three that actually stood out for me. The first one was Jared Leto, who won Best Supporting Actor for his portrayal, and it was really, of course, an incredible movie. But what I loved is that the very first thing he said was to thank his mother. And he told the story of her having him as a teenager and the trials and challenges that certainly she endured. And he told her that he loved her and really appreciated all that she did to make sure that he and his brother had a beautiful life. He also sent a heartfelt message out to the families of 36 plus million sufferers' lives who were lost to AIDS, which the movie goes into quite at depth. So he really wanted to reach out and make sure that that information was known. And lastly, he also sent out a message to the Ukraine and Venezuela, two countries truly in quite a bit of turmoil at the moment, again letting them know that they have not been forgotten. So I just found that to be incredibly just a loving, heart-centered message that he delivered, and it was the way that it all started, so it really began on a beautiful note. And I also found that Angelina Jolie, they did a flashback to when she received her humanitarian award. She also spoke of her mother and how she said, "My mother loved art. She loved film. But if it had meaning, that's when she would let her know that's what film is all about." Again, really powerful message. But I think the one that stole the cake for me was Matthew McConaughey. He rounded out the evening, the last, next to the last speeches that was given, and his message was amazing. He said he needed three things. He needed someone to look up to, and that was God for him. He said he needed someone to look forward to, and that was his mother, wife, and children, his family. And lastly, he said he needed someone to chase, someone that was his hero. And this was really quite provocative because he said that hero was himself in 10 years. And then he would check in 10 years and he was like, nope, nowhere near that. And another 10 years, meaning he was always seeking to be his best self. Again, I thought these messages were absolutely phenomenal. Really, again, taking the entire idea of being a celebrity to a much deeper level. My friend Ruth Klein says that being a celebrity is not about being the center of attention. It's about being the center of influence. And truly, to me, these actors, their speeches truly did that. They're about influencing and transforming the world with their work in a way that is uniquely theirs to do. So, of course, for me, I think about, okay, how about you? This show is all about shining your light, shining a light on those who are letting their light shine. And so I ask you, are you shining your light? How are you shining your light? And I do hope you are. And if not, maybe are you finding yourself maybe shrinking to fit, trying to fit in to someone else's mold, playing a little bit smaller than you know that your heart and your spirit and your soul is calling you to. I certainly know about that. I have been there myself, and I really would love to help you. I've joined up with 3 other friends of mine, and we have created a beautiful event called Divine Visibility. And it's all about just that, helping you to allow your light to shine through and be visible, getting your voice and your message out into the world. So I hope you'll find out more about it right at www.DivineVisibility.com, and the link will be just below this video, of course. And I really do hope you'll check it out and come and join us. It's all about helping you, again, to shine your biggest and brightest light. So now, on to this month's theme. So last month was February, we had Valentine's Day, and many folks really find that a challenging time. They might not have that special someone to share their lives with. So of course we spoke about you being the love of your life, loving yourself, because that's where it all begins. And then you can love someone else. So for those who may not have that this month, we're going to be exploring the whole dating piece, which is that beginning to connect with someone who is special, your soulmate. And we'll be speaking with Christy DeWitt, aka the Date Diva. She's written a fabulous, hilarious book called Stories from the Dating Trenches. They are her and many others' stories in their dating lives. And we will be interviewing her later this month, but first we want to hear from you. This is where you come in. Here's your question. What have you found to be the biggest problem, the biggest challenge in connecting with that special someone, with your soulmate, with someone else to be your special and significant other? So, please let us know. We want to hear from you. What have you found to be the biggest challenge? And those of you who may already be beautifully connected, we would love to hear from you too. How did you get together? How did you meet? We'll be gathering all of this information and bringing it together when we meet with Christy DeWitt, our Date Diva, later this month. So stay tuned and we'll be back. And until then, keep shining your light.